Big boy on the rails. Hello everybody and welcome back to Old Frail and Decrepit. Today we're doing the follow-up of the video that I made 2 weeks ago. This one is going to be about Cabooses, Lionel, and others. And I don't know if you can see it very well, but there are a lot of different cabooses here. Now, I don't have a huge Lionel collection because I mostly do marks, but we got some Lionel, we got some American Flyer, we've got an Ives, a Menards, we even got a Hafner over there. So we're going to get right into it. Of course, as usual, at the end we're going to run some of these. I don't think we're going to be able to run them all because Lionel didn't fit their cabooses with rear couplers, but we're going to run a good number of them. Enjoy the videos. See if there's some things here that you see. I do have a question. Let's see if I can find it here. While we're looking, this is a Lionel Scout caboose. You can tell by the coupler on it. But you tell me, is this the way it came? With no markings, no number, no nothing, just a plain, unpainted caboose. So, let me know what you think on that, and sit back and enjoy the video. Now, looking at these Lionel cabooses, we can see that Lionel was not above using the same molds. This one here was made, I'm going to guess probably the early 2000s, for a Pennsylvania Flyer set that I picked up at a estate sale. But look at this one. This one here was built in 1953. And there's an awful lot of similarity between these. In fact, they just used the same mold, didn't they? Now, it is kind of nice that they did go with a two-tone on that Pennsylvania, but there they are. Then another thing that I noticed, another mold that they used quite frequently, was this. I think they call this a Southern Pacific style. And you see, they use that in a number of different road names and colors and different eras. Like the one that we talked about already, this unmarked Scout caboose. But they've used that same mold for all these different ones. Now, I've done some things here with these, like this one here, because I do have a Jersey Central locomotive, but I didn't have a caboose for it. And I picked this shell up. Well, I had the frame and the wheels for it, but it didn't have any steps with it. So I had a broken caboose that I cut the steps off of, and just for this video I painted them black because previously they were red and they looked kind of out of place. This actually looks pretty good. That just gives you an idea how you can kind of make things work when you don't have everything going for you. This is one of the newest ones I picked up. Again, I had a nickel plate rolling stock, but didn't have a caboose to go with it. This one is not my handiwork. As you can tell, somebody with some actual talent painted this one. They put the decals on it, and this is a very good looking caboose here. Like I say, definitely not my handiwork. My painting always looks like a 3-year-old on coffee. So then that's one thing to keep in mind when you're looking at these lower end Lionel cabooses. They are common enough that if you want a custom paint, you just go right at it. You're not going to be ruining any rare item. Here's a little different style though, with a center cupola. And I got this because I do have some Wisconsin Central rolling stock. Plus I got a couple grandkids up there, so I thought they'd get a kick out of Wisconsin being seen on the Old Frail and Decrepit. Another mold that Lionel has used for quite some time is this bay window. And it's kind of a long thing, and it's lighted. And here it is, the same thing, and I think this one here is an MPC. Yes, this would be an MPC era. And yes, they did use the same mold on it. So, you do get to see that. I do like the looks of those, though for my layout here, they are kind of large, so they roll best on that outside loop. Of course, we got back here, we've got some pre-war. This is a good looking one, lithographed to look like a wood side. And that is very good looking. And then we've got, this is a very common, what is it, a 607, or is that right? Yeah, 807, there we go. Should look with my eyes rather than look through the camera. I've got two of these. I have this, and then I have it with the red roof on it. And this we've seen in a previous video. This is an Ives with that super magical roof that I made for it, because it didn't look very good without a roof at all. Then we've got this Pennsylvania here, and actually we've got two with the same body stamping. Now, this one, I've done quite a bit of work, and I can't really tell you just what all is original and what isn't, because it's been some time since I put this together. Though I did do the wiring under it. You can see the fresh wiring, because this is a lighted caboose. This is more of a stripped down version. Same body style and everything, but it's just an empty shell. But those look very, very sharp. They have a very good look to them. Now this one, I think, is a Lionel. It's an Ives design, but I think this was post Ives. I think this was one of the early years of the Lionel production of these. And then these, I have this one here that I got with a some of those larger 1930s boxcars. Actually, I had several of these. I've used a couple of them for parts, but you can see the definite size difference. And they're not too far off production-wise either, time-wise. But these looked very, very sharp. And still do, come to think of it. This is my only Menards caboose. Now this has the blinking lights on the back. And you've seen this, if you've seen my video on the Christmas layout, because I used the Menards train for that. Then we have our American Flyer. an early American Flyer. And this is lighted. And they did make a larger version of this, but I haven't been able to get hold of that. Behind the palm tree there, you see a late pre-war American Flyer O gauge. Now that originally had the it was kind of a bar and a drop-down hook. I forget what they call it right now. For a coupler, well, I've changed that over to Marks because, well, as usual, Marks is what I run. And there, bringing up the very end, is that Hafner caboose. One of the things I've noticed about Hafner is they always made their stuff pretty low to the track, so it does give it a very sleek look to it when you've got a bunch of it. And of course, they had to have their own work caboose. And this one, when I got it, it was all in pieces. So if you look close, you'll see that one's been glued back together. And one of the things that I really am very glad to have picked up, I ran into this at a train show. It was a year or so after I got my Thomas the Tank Engine set with the gondola. Well, in that set, they sent out a caboose with this profile. It was plastic, but it was an American style caboose. Well, I saw this, and this even has opening doors. And it's a Hornby. And this is what the British would call a brake van. So this looks very, very good with that Thomas the Tank Engine. So I did start a project where I was going to cut the cupola off of the one that they sent along, but I've never completed it, especially since I picked this one up for $10 and I really like the looks of it. So I figured this had better go with this because I don't think I could make a whole video out of all my brake vans, since I only have one. Just picked this one up about a year ago, but I wanted to show you the apparatus for the light. There are no wires. You have the bar that comes up, makes contact with the roller, and conducts to the bulb inside. It's a very good looking 822 here. Was the one that was all in parts, and of course I've set it up to be a little more universal in its usage.